All right, we're out here in the addition and we're doing a little update from overnight here. We dropped to about minus 38 overnight, and coming out to the addition this morning was pretty impressive. It did get pretty cold in the outer greenhouse here, dipped to about 12 or 13 degrees overnight. But even still, I guess that's a bonus in my book. Because what is that? That I mean, it's 50 degrees warmer than outside. So that's a huge. There's still. If we take a little step out, some of the celery was kind of done for already. But I mean, we still have apple trees. This apple tree still hasn't even lost its leaves yet, so it's not even dormant or something yet. So we still got some of the broccoli still standing. Besides, what we've got going inside underneath the lights, that we've kept alive, which are our fruit trees, lemon tree. We've got a Wari Samsura clementine tree. We've got another mulberry tree in the back, and then an avocado, and yeah, then a lot of strawberries and some other shrubs. Oh yeah, our fig trees too are in there. So we're still growing, some of the tropical stuff, and it's kind of the thing with the varieties that we have chosen is that they are a bit more cold hardy, so they can handle the colder temperatures, but they can't definitely handle, some of the teens and the single digits. I'll say that. Some of them, I mean, the apple trees are dealing with it no problem. The more, southern trees, that's taken a little bit more. So, I mean, at least out here. So today it was pretty sunny out. It was clear skies. The sun is setting. I was meaning to do this earlier. I was kind of fumbling and doing some other stuff. And then I was also gathering wood for the rocket stove in here. So that's kind of, um, I missed out on showing the temperatures from earlier, but we did hit 61 degrees inside of here today, even with the outside temperature being minus 25 or minus 26, I think. And now we're dropping even more. So, we're already almost back to minus 30, from where we were last night. And for in here, being 12 or 13 degrees in the morning. And now, it was 61 degrees earlier, and now we've got the sun setting, so we don't have as much solar gain going on anymore. And right now we're sitting, oh, it's backwards because the selfie thing. It's 35 degrees in here right now and 61% humidity. So if you can see my breath, that might be a little bit why. And I think it could be a little bit colder maybe than that, in between 32 to 30. I mean, it could be that if you're seeing my breath, but I run very warm too. But I mean, even still 35 degrees and it's still negatives outside. It's still minus, yeah, almost minus 30 out again. So, and then when we go inside of the addition here, close the sliding door, we're coming into the addition. It's 43 or 44 degrees. It rose up a degree there. I don't even have the fire going. It already rose a degree. So, and it's 61% humidity in here as well. You can kind of see my breath, I think. But even still, I mean, I feel the difference. You can feel it. I can feel the difference. It feels a bit warmer in here. I don't feel as sniffly like when you go outside in the cold. Your nose wants to just run. But honest. And then yeah, I think that's the other point I needed to make was coming in here this morning too on to this inner part. It was 40 degrees in here still even, and the max that it got was the same as out in the exterior of the addition there, where it got 61. So it was about 60 or 61 degrees in here too at the peak of the day. And then I actually had left the door open, door open, kind of bringing some of that warm air in, leaving the sliding door open, and forgot about it. Didn't come in until a little bit later. And yeah, it's 44 degrees in here, which even still isn't bad. I mean, that's a 10-degree difference, almost a 9-10 degree difference than the outer greenhouse there, even, which is even more impressive, and the fact that coming in here, it was still 40 degrees, seeing as it was minus 38 overnight. That's a 78, almost 80 degree difference, that's going on, without a fire going. I had the rocket stove going here till about 6 o'clock last night. And then I just let it go out and didn't touch it at all until right about now. So it's gone all day. It went all night, and then it's gone all day with staying above 40 degrees. It's sitting 44. It reached to 61 earlier, and that it was going overnight. So we're about to enter night number two of minus, probably I think minus 32 to minus 35. Not as cold as the night before, but it's going to still get cold. So it's pretty cool that this has held its temperature in spite of how drastically cold it is, and how quick it came too as well. So just the bonus of passive solar, utilizing the earth and the tires, and the geothermal aspect of things, I think has, coupled with the rocket stove, I think that's kind of an important aspect of, just housing designs and whatnot, because we're hearing of people out here, even on the the farther down, they're on the flats what we call down there, but people down there, they're losing power. People's power is flicking on and off that are still on the grid. So that's one thing, especially, and hopefully people stocked up on their propane and their gas for their generators and stuff, because we had someone else that we knew that their generator froze. So I can only imagine how many other people's might have froze if they didn't have it started or going all night. So I think that's just, it's one thing to point out, this is literally almost a life-saving structure in itself. Even if you didn't have any wood, or, if you just had some blankets and a sleeping bag, you could still survive, just for the fact that you wouldn't be exposed to that temperature, that extreme temperature, the elements and stuff like that. So, and at least, I'd rather take 40 degrees than, minus 40 degrees any day. That's for sure. So, but we're going to do another round of burning in here, I think, for a little bit. What time is it? It's 5 o'clock. So I'm going to burn through a good amount of this wood, and I've chopped up one pallet. One pallet. Let's put that on the record. I've chopped up one pallet in here, and that doesn't include the 2x4s that hold it together. These are only the planks that I'm going to use, and I'm going to split them up into these smaller little pieces as well, as you can see here. And this is how we work it with the rocket stove, saving wood hopefully, and we should be able to crank it to 75 degrees in here. I think it's pretty feasible, even with that little bit of wood. This doesn't seem like much, right? This is a little bit of wood. That's my foot. That's how big the wood pile is. That's one pallet's worth. One pallet with that had a good amount of planks on it, mind you. But even still, it's a small amount of wood that we'll be using in this stove to heat this place up. And I think that'll be the one test that I'll make the update on tomorrow, is taking note of temperatures tonight, and we'll document that before the fire is let out, basically. I'll take note of that. And then tomorrow I'll have an update and come in here, and I'll show the temperatures, and hopefully we might get another good sunny day. Hopefully, even if it's cloudy, that'll be another test, because we'll see what the temperature looks like in the morning. But I guess hopefully this is the last night of extreme cold. So just wanted to make this update on the temperature flux and what we're dealing with in this Earthship, this DIY Earthship that's not even 100% complete, and combining that with the rocket stove. So that's just, one point of with housing and people's situations is, if you are thinking about getting land or doing something, it is important to figure out, what your elements and the weather, and so, it's like working with nature. That's, I guess the big thing in seeing why we did what we did in building the Earthships, and the concepts that we do, like with the rocket stove. It's just the things that we run into, and trying to combine the best ideas, that have proven themselves, to work, and other people might have, because that's the thing. I've watched a whole bunch of other videos on rocket stoves, and I watch videos on Earthships, and I'm always kind of just looking at other people's ideas as well. I'm not just always settled on, what my way or what I'm thinking. I do try to get ideas from other people's videos, and that's pretty much what's inspired a lot of what's going on up here. but I've just put kind of my own twist on a lot of things and kind of just, done it myself, just gone after it just to see, what I can make of it. So this is what we're making of it right now. We're sitting pretty comfortable. I mean, I am in my little sweatshirt and I've got my sweatpants on and some boots. So that should attest at least a little bit that it's not freezing cold in here. It's fairly warm where, I'm not all super bundled up like Kenny from South Park, but, standing pretty comfortably and even more comfortably with the fire that we'll be starting. So I'm going to take note of my thoughts that I should get off my mind next time, just in terms of preparedness and these once in a while big storms that we get and like that just happen all of a sudden. It's best to be prepared in a lot of these areas and knowing. And I think that's the one thing with the structure being built the way it is that we were already prepared for things like this to begin with without, I guess, necessarily thinking about it. But that's I'll get my thoughts together on the next video. But for now, we're gonna get this fire going here, and we've got this little bit of wood. So I'm gonna take note of how warm it gets in here before I get out of here and let the fire put itself out. So we'll have another video in the morning, hopefully, if I don't wake up too late. But it's way more comfortable in the house. It's 76 in the house right now. So, but we'll get the addition cranking out here. We've got the grow lights on, so we're still growing plants even in here. No plants have really died yet. This was like pepper plants that Nika was trying to keep alive, but she harvested a bunch of stuff. But we got all the cover crops that are still going. And then we've got strawberries and other herbs and sage and flowers as well. So we'll keep documenting things. If this, sorry, hopefully it didn't seem a little awkward. This is my first little selfie video. So trying to test the waters, maybe get a little bit more comfortable and kind of talking freely to the camera. So that's my challenge for the upcoming videos that I'll have. But we'll stay updated on the temperatures because this is super huge going through this extreme temperatures. And who knows how many people, might know or not know about, just geothermal and some of these concepts that you actually could what's the word I'm looking for, that you can incorporate into your existing house even. It's like anybody could actually build a greenhouse that that's more incorporated into their house, that's more attached, and that actually would provide that solar gain and actually help heat their house. Because there's definitely a lot of people out here that even during the day they're burning wood, they're having to waste fuel. Whereas for our situation during the day, we have to stop burning wood because it's already getting so warm and the solar gain is going on. It's already heating up the house, so we stop burning wood because it's already so hot. So we save wood. Even as much wood as we already save, we get to save even more wood by not having to burn during these sunny days or days that have a good amount of sun and solar gain, because the house is heating up to 75 degrees at least, if not almost 80 degrees. So that's what, the combination of thoughtful ideas and somewhat proper planning can get you in especially unexpected and unprecedented times like these with high temperatures and freak storms and cyclones and such like that. So I'm gonna get this fire going and hopefully I don't burn the fuzz on my head here in the process, but we'll get this little bit of wood going and I'll have a video update for tomorrow with what temperatures we went through and just kind of some other keynotes maybe as well. So stay tuned for those. Thank you for watching. Definitely like and comment and subscribe as well. Definitely make your comments, any questions that I could answer or maybe make a video about that might address a lot of maybe concerns or other questions that people might have. Otherwise, I do have plenty of videos we can make through the wintertime here, explaining, some of the choices we've made and why we live the way we do, the lifestyle choices, the hurdles we had to go through, some of the choices we had to make and such. So stay tuned for those videos. and hopefully more uh, less awkward selfie videos. But we'll get more footage of stuff, and we'll be checking in on everybody else too as well. Nika's outside milking the goat before it gets too cold, even though it's pretty cold out, but before it gets too cold. So, and I'm gonna get it warmed up so she can come in here and warm her hands up a little bit, and then we'll go inside and get that fire going in the house. So, but stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Thank you.